Jay, thank you so much. Well, believe it or not, today marks a solemn 2 years since the devastating wildfires ravaged Maui. These fierce fires, they claimed 102 lives and resulted in a staggering $6 billion in damages. The historic town of Lahaina was destroyed. A federal report reveals that broken power lines were the sparks that ignited this tragedy. So we remember these devastating wildfires. We're marking those 2 years. Some of you might be wondering, what's it like now? Is it appropriate to visit? Should I plan a trip? Should I go back? Because again, Hawaii relies heavily on tourism. So how can you help? Angie Rice is here. She's a co-founder of Boutique Travel Advisors. You've recently visited. What are your thoughts? And what do you say to people who might be interested in going over to Maui?
Yes, certainly after the fires and being in the travel industry, it was important to rally and to support revisiting Maui.
Yeah.
And it really is a memorial when whether you're coming from the south or the north, when you reach the famous, infamous, Lahaina area.
What did you think when you were over there? Because again, you did go recently. How was it? Did it feel like you could go and enjoy, or is there still a lot of work to be done?
There's a lot of work yet to be done. Certainly there is temporary housing, but with whether or not government aid will continue to support that housing is a real reality for those that are displaced. So it is important. The money that is going to help fund the rebuild is tourism. And historically, I've always loved working with the Hawaiian Island Board of Tourism, and they have always done things in a sustainable way. So there's this opportunity to rebuild in an empowering way, but it is going to take that tourism and the ability for people to just pack up and entrust that it's still a beautiful destination. And they've closed off, Front Street. We want to see that rebuild.
Yes. Which was such an iconic spot. And then so to lose it, when you were over there, what were you hearing from people? Because this is your job, to travel and to kind of soak up what makes sense for your clients. What were you hearing from people in Hawaii? Are they just so eager to get visitors back?
Absolutely. It reminds me of the pandemic that all of us can relate to. Imagine just feeling that you're isolated from what you're accustomed to. It's like owning a bar and a restaurant and nobody's there to visit, right? So it's this opportunity to re-engage tourism and then be able to see that the tourism is back up and running, and we can allow for restaurants and business owners to feel confident that they can rebuild. And some of that rebuilding has happened. I love that Old Lahaina Luau has reopened.
Oh, how nice. So some of the iconic spots are starting to open back up. What is your advice to clients who do want to go back there, who do want to support, who do want to be part of getting those tourism dollars back? What do you say to them? Where do you tell them to go? What are some of the spots that you...
Correct. Well, let's just be reminded that Grand Wailea area has not been affected. Kaanapali has not been affected.
Yes.
Therefore, the resorts are intact.
Okay.
So come and certainly enjoy the amenities of the resorts, but leave your property. Most people rent a car when they're in Maui because there's so much to see and do, and visit these local restaurants that are reopening, and be patient, recognizing that, a lot of the workers are displaced. Many people have had to leave the island. And hopefully there's an opportunity for them to return as things get rebuilt.
It's been 2 years. That's what we're marking. So when you just went recently, you did say, there are still parts that really just still devastated.
Yes, and they've closed off those areas, and I think it's very somber, and the opportunity for those streets to be rebuilt. Residential building is definitely taking priority, so there's that disconnect, right? But you have to recognize that how are we going to rebuild establishments, return to that growth stage that was existing prior to the fires, if we don't first allow for residents to return?
Residents to return, and then getting those people back in there and just enjoying what is so incredible about Hawaii. What would you say to someone who wants to go over? What are some places in particular on Maui that you think, check this place out? Go here.
Yes.
And more importantly, when I am there, are there resources that you think, check in here, go to this spot, and they can tell you some other places? What do you think?
I would definitely spend time on the water.
Okay.
So I would, whether you're snorkeling, there's some great little coves for snorkeling, or you want to get on a boat and fish, or see the sea life that's available. I would also encourage a helicopter tour. A lot of different companies offer those helicopter tours. I love different properties. The Andaz is one of my favorite properties because you have multiple beach accesses to and from Andaz. And they also provide a lot of resources such as kayaks that are just complementary to the property. There's also great opportunities for condo configurations that accommodate families quite nicely. And again, you know, the hotels are ready and waiting and eager. I also feel there's like an enhanced level of service, but because people are just rooting for the rebuild. And so that is an added benefit. I think you're going to have a better experience in Maui than ever before. One other secret I'd like to add is booking Hawaii early. People think of it as domestic, right? So it's not something you necessarily want to or need to plan early. I would encourage planning early. Again, cancelable rates always allows you to plan with the option to change your plans. And May is one of the best months in terms of getting discounts and deals for travel to Maui.
And
So just a little tidbit.
Is that just because everyone's still kind of in school or what?
It's truly like the soft season, right? Maui is, and all of Hawaii is pretty much popular year-round. Certainly there are some rainier, windier seasons. And most people are traveling during spring break or they're preparing for summer travel and then holiday travel. And it's just a little area of the year that's somewhat forgotten. And the tourism is down that time of year for most hotels. I mean, that's kind of the intel we've had over the years.
Love it. Well, we're so grateful for your intel. Angie, thank you so much. 2 years since those devastating wildfires. And Jen, I mean, just to go back and to support any way we can, now we know how.